Chinese state media reports at least 126 people are dead and more than 180 injured after an earthquake in Tibet. The 7.1 magnitude quake hit close to the border with Nepal, near where mountaineers gather to climb Mount Everest. Now search and rescue operations are underway. Foreign correspondent Britt Clinton joins me now from Hong Kong with more on that. Britt, what's the latest?
Well, Diane, as that death toll climbs, the race is still on to find survivors. Now, drones have been deployed to the area to help the search, and other resources are being dispatched from the Chinese military. That's as Chinese President Xi Jinping called for an all-out effort to minimize casualties and get the impacted residents resettled. But it's now nighttime in that search area where temperatures are below 0 degrees. These are really tough conditions for the rescue teams to sift through that rubble. The location is also a challenge. It's a high-altitude area, 14,000 feet in some locations, and having been to that area myself, I can say it can be difficult to breathe. To make matters worse, there's now a lack of consistent power and water. Chinese state media said more than 3,600 houses in the area collapsed during the earthquake. A video showing the aftermath with crumbling highways and debris everywhere. There were more than 40 aftershocks in the first few hours following the quake, which struck around 50 miles north of Mount Everest along the border. Video shows tremors hitting the Hotel Everest view across the border. And the quake, it occurred close to the area where mountaineers gather to ascend Everest. But the world's tallest mountain, it's just not a popular destination for climbers in winter. While strong tremors were felt in Nepal, there haven't been any reports of major damage or casualties there, Diane.
Foreign correspondent Britt Clinton in Hong Kong. Thank you.
Rescue efforts are underway at this hour in Tibet, where a powerful earthquake has killed at least 95 people. The U.S. Geological Survey says a 7.1 quake struck just after 9 a.m. local time, and it was followed by dozens of aftershocks. Authorities say the shaking could be felt as far away as Nepal and northern India. Social media video from China shows streets filled with rubble as a result. Mark Stewart is joining us now from Beijing with the very latest. What do we know about this quake? I mean, I understand it struck in a remote area. I'd imagine that's hindering rescue efforts.
No question, Amara. Location is just one of the many challenges. This is a high-altitude area, about 14,000 feet in some places. Even if you are in very good shape, it's very difficult to breathe. And that is one of many reasons why this rescue is so difficult. We have rescue crews who are having to go through boulders, through broken buildings, and put the altitude on top of it. It is a very daunting task. A lot of resources are being sent by the Chinese Air Force. In fact, we've just learned that a very large military transport plane has been sent. Just some of the hardware that's being dispatched to the area, but an indication of just how difficult of a task this is. In fact, you see video of these crews arriving on the scene, going into action. Weather is also a challenge as it's now nighttime. The temperature has dropped significantly. No snow on the ground, but very cold temperatures overnight, adding to the difficulties in all of this. Another sticking point in all of this is going to be infrastructure. Many of these roads, as you've seen, have boulders on them. There's a lot of debris, in addition to buildings that in many parts look like as if they have collapsed. So it's difficult for people to leave the earthquake zone and adds challenge for crews trying to go in to see what is left behind. You mentioned all of the aftershocks. This is a fact that we just learned that really struck me. 150 aftershocks reported at 6 o'clock local time. And that is just an indication of what these crews are facing, a very long list of challenges. And quite frankly, a lot of these images are just heartbreaking. Earlier, we saw a man on a stretcher, and you could just see the despair on that person's face. Tibet is a very significant part of the world here. It is, it's seen as a very sacred place, of course, with its origins in Buddhism. We have heard now from the Dalai Lama, in fact. He says that he is saddened by what has happened, is offering prayers for people who have lost their lives, and is offering hopes for a swift recovery for those who are injured. Also hearing from Chinese President Xi Jinping, who earlier today really made it clear that this rescue effort is a national priority, an all-out effort to rescue people from the hurricane, or from the earthquake zone, I should say. Amra, it is just past 9 o'clock in the evening. It is dark, and there's certainly a lot of concern what the hours will bring and what will be discovered when the sun starts to rise in the morning, Amra.
And of course, earthquakes of this magnitude always come with many aftershocks, as you mentioned. And with that, do we expect the death toll to rise even more so in the coming hours and days?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing which has really struck us who have been covering this story throughout the day, when this first happened at around 9 o'clock in the morning, the death toll was in the single digits. And then within a matter of hours, as crews were able to get closer and closer, the death toll certainly started to rise. So I don't think anyone, sadly, is ruling out the possibility that more bodies could be found in the rubble overnight, Amra.
Absolutely. Mark Stewart following this story for us there in Tibet. Thank you so much, live for us there in Beijing. And meteorologist Derek Van Dam takes a look at the weather conditions in the quake zone.
When this powerful and deadly earthquake struck just after 9 a.m. local time, what struck me is the shallow nature of this earthquake, only 10 kilometers deep, meaning that there wasn't a lot of ground to absorb the shaking. So the earthquake was certainly felt well away from the epicenter, and we do anticipate the aftershocks to continue, especially with this powerful of an earthquake. In fact, when we look at similar strength earthquakes, magnitude 7.0 or greater, we typically experience at least one magnitude 6.0 or greater aftershock, with several dozen 5.0 or less. Now, where the earthquake occurred on the Tibetan plateau, it is a high elevation location. So here's the Himalayan mountains, here's Nepal, India to the south, China to the north. That's the epicenter right there. So just by its true nature of its location, it is a cold part of the world, but it's been particularly cold lately. Now, in terms of the weather going forward, we don't have any significant weather systems in play for the search and recovery efforts until the weekend. So we look towards Saturday and Sunday when you start to see some of this impactful weather starting to impact the Himalayas and the surrounding areas that could pick up the winds and complicate that search and rescue effort going forward. So that's again for the weekend. In the meantime, generally dry conditions anticipated in and around the epicenter. Here's the closest reporting station. The next 3 days, you can see temperatures will drop well below the freezing mark overnight, so that also complicates the search and recovery efforts. But you can see by the afternoon, temperatures warm into the single digits to around 10 degrees by Friday afternoon.
All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, this video is going to be entitled 7.1 Earthquake in Tibet, at least 126 deleted. All right, and as you saw the news reports, there was a 7.1 earthquake over there in China in the Tibet region. And hey, yeah, like the headline says. Now you will see one news report. The early ones from today said 95, at least 95 dead. Now they're saying at least 126 dead. You're going to see different numbers, but the number's going to continue to go up. Now, interesting thing you heard about, in both of these news reports, one was from the from ABC, I believe. I think I got another one from, I forget. I don't know if it was CNN or another news. What was it? ABC and CNN, yeah. So it was one from ABC, one from CNN news report, and it's all over the every major news outlet pretty much picked it up. But these are the two that I kind of like more than the others. And if you know anything about that part of the world, that region, who lives over there, you got mainly Moab with a little bit of concentrations of Elam, and then them two peoples kind of started to mix and mingle together, because you got the country of India. And then you got the country of China. They're right there in the Asian continent. So you can see right there in this still image, you see India down at the bottom. Then you see Nepal and Bhutan, and then Tibet. Tibet is part of China. So those neighboring countries, you got East Indians, or India is Moab. I'm sorry, Elam. And then you got the so-called Chinese, which are Moabites, and then you got the peoples mixed all in together. Now you got Israelites over there as well, of course, but the main God that the people over there follow is what? That fake ass Buddha, right? As a matter of fact, the city that got hit, they said that's like a holy place for Buddhists, and Buddhism is a false religion. Just bottom line. So when you see all these earthquakes and different things happening, it's happening because of what? Because the Lord is angry about, people worshiping idols and whatnot, which at the end of the day, the Lord only cares about the Israelites, but you got Israelites among those Chinese and East Indians and all them other different mingled people over there. You got Israelites among them. I think that among the East Indians, what do you got? What do they call them, man? The Punjabis, right? I believe that's what they call. And you got some called untouchables or something like that. You got East Israelites among them people. So the Lord is, will bring disasters and terrors on all the different nations because of all that damn idolatry, man. Which you got Jake scattered among every people. Let's read that real quick, because somebody gonna say that we lying, because you can't imagine. You think that every Israelite gonna just be a nigga from America. No, you got Israelites among every people all over the earth. Let's get it real quick. And it gives you another bonus. This is Deuteronomy 28:64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee. Who's the thee? Israelites. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Did it just mean in America only? No. Does it just mean in Africa only? No. It meant among all people. Also among the Tibetans, right? And the Nepalese, the East Indians, the Moabites. We among every people. So you got Israelites there. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which in this case, they will be serving the god of Buddhism. Now, don't think that the Most High is not above bringing natural disasters or terror on these different places, because why? We'll make videos about it. And then somebody may, that's interested in that region over there, whether they live over here in Babylon the Great or they live in another part of the world, they'll see our video about the Tibet earthquake. They'll click on it, and then they'll hear that we telling them that, Israelites are scattered among those people as well. And then they'll say, you know what, I've been kind of, wondering about this Israelite stuff. So the Lord does everything with a purpose, okay? So let's read this one more time. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. To the Israelites that are scattered among these these Buddhists, you got to repent. Time to turn back now. You Israelites from the different parts of the world. As the scriptures tell us, the Lord going to gather a remnant from all nations. This is Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam. What did you see on there? You saw India, which is Elam, and Shinar, and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and shall gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. There it is again, from the four corners of the earth. And this made me think back to a few months ago. We did a lesson about the gypsies. I did one lesson about it, and the brother Jim Esquadar Shapat did a lesson. He did a in-depth lesson about the gypsies, and a lot of them come from over there in the Elam world, and a lot of the gypsies are Israelites. So the Lord is going to recover his people from all over the earth. Now, let's get real quick to show you that the Most High is not dealing with these other nations' gods. All right, this is Psalm 96. We'll jump in here we'll start at verse 1. It says, "Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song. Sing unto the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, all the earth. Sing unto the Lord, bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen, His wonders among all people. See that? So when we get the opportunity like this, with these far out regions that you don't hear a lot about, you don't talk a lot about, probably the only thing Jake can ever even remember hearing about Nepal or Tibet is when Eddie Murphy did that movie, Golden Child. If you go back to that movie, Golden Child, Eddie Murphy did a movie. I don't know if he actually went over there, but it was supposed to be, dealing with the Tibetans and Nepal or whatever. But you had on that big coat, and he met this fine ass chick from over there too, and he started getting with her, right? So you got Israelites from over there, or that have been mingled in, because you had Jake to go over there and get with them different women, or either they have children from it, and the people may go back. It's just different ways, military and all of that. Jake moved over to China. We had a lot of our forefathers that was living over there in that world. That's how you, in that part of the world, that's how you got a lot of those Shaolin monks, a lot of Buddhist shit. I had a friend, a good ass friend. I never forget it, man. I had a good ass friend when I lived in Virginia. He was a Buddhist, if you can believe that or not. Why was he a Buddhist? Because he had fought in the Vietnam War. He had fought in the Vietnam War and shit. And some kind of way, I don't know how that nigga wound up being a Buddhist, and he wasn't, he wasn't he wasn't mixed or none of that. He's just a black ass dude named Rico, a damn war vet. He was a truck driver for this company I used to work for. And this nigga was a Buddhist. That's the only Jake I ever known that was a Buddhist. But if you also think back, the movie What's Love Got to Do with it? Tina Turner became a damn Buddhist. A lot of them people out there in Hollywood and different celebrities and shit, them niggas get into that Buddhism shit. A lot of them get into Buddhism and shit. A lot of them damn different celebrities, even ball players, they get into that shit because they like, that style of food, just different shit. Jake is weird like that. But the Most High told you, when you go among these nations, don't do as they do. Let's get that real quick. Jeremiah, we'll come back to this. Jeremiah 10, verse 1. It says this. It says, hear ye the word of the Lord. Salakia, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? You're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathen. But Jake go all out. Also, if you can remember going back to the man with two iron fists, or the man with the iron fist, that nigga from Wu-Tang, RZA, all that Wu-Tang culture, all that different shit. You had Jakes among these different nations like that. They was over there among Moab, among them damn Ming dynasties, them Shaolin monks doing all that shit, being a part of Buddhism, learning Kung Fu, training, doing all that shit, man. What's that asshole, Jim Kelly, Black Belt Jones? He was tight with Bruce Lee. You see, so you had our people that have been part of that shit, and there's a lot of Israelites still over there in that region of the world, which really, some of that stuff is actually beautiful, man. Beautiful, culture and stuff. But that Buddhism shit, that's a false god. Let's read more. Psalms 96 and 3. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, made the heavens. These different nations got their own different gods they worship, but they're just idols. They're not real. They don't exist. They're praying basically to Satan. This is 1 Chronicles 16:24. I'm going to start at verse 23. It says, sing unto the Lord all the earth. Show forth from day to day his salvation. Declare his glory among the heathen, his marvelous works among all nations. For great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. He also is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the people are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Right, all the gods, they're just idols. You go among the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, eat among these damn Edomites. These Edomites worship a different God. They use the Bible, right? But they loosely base the Bible upon their religion. But at the end of the day, they just worshiping another idol. The god of the Edomites was Quas, that big ass nose. You see? And you got them, some of them devils look just like it. Anyway, Just kind of wanted to touch on that briefly. Let's just get into the judgment part now, right? Because what? People are getting killed. But why is the Lord doing that? Because of idolatry and different stuff, you know? And do we feel sorry for him? Hell no. Hell no, because the Most High going to bring judgment on all these different nations. What are you always hearing about going on over there in East India? A damn train derailing, right? A bus wrecking, you know, or some type of other natural disaster event, and a bunch of people dying in mass numbers. Same thing with Indonesia. Same thing with some of those other third world countries over there in Africa and all of that. Why? Because of the idolatry. The idolatry. And Jacob's being heavily involved and influenced by that shit. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. If we can, let's read the NLT. But the Lord is still there in the city, and he does no wrong. Day by day he hands down justice. Those of you that watch videos on this channel regularly, you have heard me mention that when you go into the word judgment, a lot of times the word is interchangeable with justice. So when you see judgment fall on individuals, guess what it is? Justice from the Lord. Day by day he hands down justice, and he does not fail, but the wicked know no shame. NIV, the Lord within her is righteous. He does no wrong. Morning by morning he dispenses his justice, and every new day he does not fail, yet the unrighteous know no shame. Right? Now, going back to the regular version, it says what? Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not. That judgment is justice. So this is why we bring out the works of the Lord, you know, what's going on with different individuals. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot of judgment going out. I was just watching a news report, and I shared it, actually, among the brothers on the chat and also on my own channel. I shared it. And 5 Northern Kingdom assholes robbed this man. This man was 69 years old. And these damn Northern Kingdom demons, more than migrant assholes probably, robbed this dude while he was asleep. He was 69 years old. Then they got into a fight. They were beating the shit out of him. He reached into his bag and jabbed 2 of them up. One of them died. That's what you get. That's what you motherfucking get. You see? We getting to the point now where this fluid judgment that's being handed out by the Lord is exactly what it is. It is justice. And we are right with that. This is Job 19, verse 29. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment, or that there is justice. I wonder what would this say? There is a judgment. There's a judgment. None of them on this. Now on this one, none of them say justice. But it's all good though. The ASV says, "Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment." Damn near identical with the KJV. You see? So the wrath of the Lord bringeth the punishments of the sword. And you know for a fact who it is when you see those different judgments coming out. This is Psalms 9 and 13. It says, "Have mercy upon me, O Yahweh. Consider my trouble which I suffer of them that hate me, that thou liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken." Salaki, in the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget the Most High. Why? You got Jacob, that's a nation and a company of nations, scattered among the nations, worshiping different gods and idols. So guess what they're going to get? Them nations going to be turned into hell that forget the Most High. Right? Now, let's just show you an end time sign of these different earthquakes. A 7.1, what came on Tibet. Right? This is Matthew 24 and 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, earthquakes all over the earth. All these are the beginning of sorrows. It's just the beginning. The Lord is just warming up. He gonna bring way more earthquakes, major shit, big shit, scary shit. Mark 13, verse 7, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. We are in the beginning of sorrows. 2025 got off to a great start. We hit the ground running, as they say, when it comes to judgment. Luke 21, verse 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences. What are you hearing about? You're hearing about a new pestilence in the Wuhan province, certain parts of China. See, that's not a coincidence that earthquake hit that bitch. Other shit going on. Did you hear about a new pandemic over there in that region of the world, or potentially a potential pandemic in that region of the world? Not an accident, man. You see, all these idols, there should be a visitation upon them, as it tells you in the Apocrypha. The Most High ain't going to hold back. What do you think? You think Israelites only in one place? No, the Most High going to make the whole earth feel his wrath. Verse 21 says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And this is just another of those great signs. Another one of those great things we see. And you know, for you weak, squeamish individuals out there, you're gonna bitch up. Golly, y'all doomsday cult, doomsday prophets. Would y'all? Yeah, that's exactly what we fucking are, man. That's exactly what we are. We are the doomsday prophets. You're absolutely damn right. And we don't want to see nothing good for this world, for Babylon the Great, for you fucking citizens of the world. None of you, man. Because we don't care about this place. We want the Lord to tear this bitch off the hinges, is what we really want. And we won't be satisfied until he does it. 1611. Hold on, y'all. King James. Damn it. There we go. So let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 9. We'll close this out. Yeah, we are doomsday prophets. Absolutely. Prophets of doom. Doom and gloom. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, right? And verse 1. He answered me then and said, you know what? Matter of fact, we'll read this. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And this is one of the signs. Great troubles, different things going on around the world. The Lord is bringing all types of judgment, pain on the people of earth, different nations. And again, don't think so small, Jake. Don't think the Israelites are only in one place. No, Israelites are all over, just like the Lord promised, right? The scriptures are not void. You know, they don't lie. The Lord said he got people in every place. And that's what it means, damn it. People in every place. You different Israelites around the world, different parts of the world. If you seeing this, you Buddhists, you got to drop that Buddhism shit. Turn back to the true and living God, you Israelites that's scattered among these damn people. Even over here in America, you got Israelites in America that get into Buddhism and shit. You got to repent before it's too late. We'll see you soon, Lord willing. All praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.